Lake Taihu in the Yangtze River Delta of Jiangsu province is one of China's largest freshwater lakes. It's an important source of drinking water for nearby cities, but protecting biodiversity here is a constant struggle. An increasing population and booming economic development in the 1980s and 1990s pushed toxic waste into the lake, causing it to become polluted. It got so bad that in May 2007, Lake Taihu was hit by an outbreak of cyanobacteria or algae, which contaminated the water supply of one of the cities, Wuxi.
Due to an increase in population and social and economic development, external pollutants entered the lake. The pollutants caused the rapid growth of algae, which gathered around the drinking water source and made the drinking water unclean. The unclean water then entered the water plant, which was delivered to residents' house, causing drinking water issues for residents in southern Wuxi.
The central government began a long process to fix the problem. All water treatment plants were asked to do everything they could to clean the water. They had to increase their water supply as well by adding a pipeline to get water from the Yangtze River. This was to provide residents with another source of water should such a crisis happen again. Officials dredged the lake to remove all external pollutants. They also ordered the mass closure of chemical plants that dumped waste into the lake. Factories too had to comply with pollution standards. Those which couldn't meet the deadline were forced to close or relocate. This steel and iron factory in Wuxi was one of them. In 2012, the deserted factory was converted into one of the world's largest film studios, Hollywood.
At the time, its output was close to 10 billion yuan. Later, due to its high energy consumption, the government relocated it. The entire area was planned for cultural creativity, film and television, and the software industries. After relocation, most of the staff moved to the new factory, while some remained.
Today, as you can see, the water at Lake Taihu is crystal clear. The government continues its efforts to ensure clean drinking water. A 10-year fishing ban on the Yangtze River also ensures that fishes are protected. It's a perfect example of protecting biodiversity within an urban landscape. This is where the city meets nature. But research shows it's a problem which needs constant attention. Urban development around the lake traps light, while the lake's temperature has been rising due to climate change. This ensures a perfect environment for algae blooms to grow. 30% of the algae growth in Lake Taihu has been attributed to climate change. This is a much higher percentage than other lakes in Europe.
Algae is indeed a global problem. In the 1970s and 1980s, some European countries saw an algae bloom. China now faces this problem as well as some European and American countries. The problem is serious in African countries. For example, in Botswana, in Africa, many elephants died around a lake due to an algae bloom.
This laboratory gives early warning signs of algae blooms to the local government. It also predicts any possible algae outbreak. The data is collected from April to October, when algae starts to bloom. It's a long-term challenge to eradicate algae blooms. But China has made great progress in environmental protection. And it will continue to do so as part of the Chinese government's plan to build an ecological civilization. Gasthoori Manickam, CGTN, Wuxi, Jiangsu province.